Dilani Diva.
Hi guys, good morning. This is Dilani Diva. How are you? And so we are doing the free energy reading that I do once a week for all of you, sharing the birth of energy. Now, for those who are new to my channel, you can visit me on www.dilanidiva.com to find out more about what I have to offer to you. So this week we are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde still, and things are a little, it gets a little wacky sometimes. I've been feeling a little wacky too. So the energy of your past sort of transcends into this state and makes you kind of wonder, and your mind goes all over the place and it's hard to stay focused. So it is always good to have some focusing tools around you during this time. And for me, I love tea. Yes, just this warm cup of tea. Even the strength of just holding it in my hands in the morning just awakens my soul. It is just wonderful. And now, today I've just turned my heat off and I haven't put my fireplaces on today. So it's kind of freezing in the house, but I like it because it reminds me of the shift of the season. From the 97 degrees, it's kind of cooled down. So it's wonderful to be able to kind of relish my tea. So this is ginger tea, and sometimes I do use other teas to bring clarity and truth and a sense of well-being into my spirit, so I can share it with you. If I'm not in a good space, I cannot do my readings. It is not fair that I would impose my grumpiness into your wonderful spirit. So anyway, so today's energy reading, I did my meditation in the morning, and here I am to share what the universe has to say for us. So, looking at all the three aspects of our spirit, mind, body, and spirit, I can see that it is our mind that's going to be more powerful and more delightful this week. So we have power in the mind, though our bodies and our spirits are going to be a little more restrained and somewhat even a little dark. There's a sense of gloom around our body and our spirit. So our thoughts, our perceptions, and our thinking is going to be the most powerful. And so we are going to remember that right throughout this reading, okay? This insight, so to speak. Okay, so for this I use my spirit guide and cards both because I think it's always fun to try out new things, and so I'm open to many things including crystals. So let's take a look at what our universal cards say to us. So the mind, which is going to be our power tool this week, speaks to us of vibrant, glowing colors. It speaks to us of the birth of the autumn season, with the fire of the trees and the beautiful colors that are going to dawn us. The card itself is fantastic, but it also has a semblance of spirit and fire. So there is water and fire that is signified in the card in itself, but the picture is of a beautiful, beautiful, can you see a field of poppies? It is gorgeous. And when I look at this, I'm going to place it in my hands and ask spirit, and ask my spirit guide. Her name's Liana, and she is a fun guide, what she feels about this. So just a moment. Angel guide Liana, what do you feel about our mind this week? Okay, so you have the ability this week to stay focused, to stay on top of things, and to get things done. But you also have the ability, like the yin and the yang of things, because of the retrograde, to let yourself become completely in a saddened state. So you can go into a lot of depression this week, because I feel that your past can come in. And just as much as brilliance remains with us, the absolute equal and opposite can also remain in the same strand of energy. So be aware of that. But remember that you can be very, very powerful this week. Getting things done, getting your projects done, getting your goals achieved, getting your workout in the morning, having your tea. Excuse me. Oh, that is so good. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so the word of power this week for the mind is increase. And it is also said the power words for the mind this week is sharing, reaping, overflow, expansion, and flowering. So there is a lot of birth there when we think about those words. It's very encouraging, isn't it? It's almost like it's overflowing. So there's an excess of energy right there when we look at it. And I think this excess of energy we can take and put it towards our body and our spirit, which is going to be not so happy, you see. So when I say the mind, I'm talking about thought patterns. I'm talking about the definitive thoughts you're having, okay? That's the mind. That's what we're talking about. The body of the mind is thought. So you keep your thoughts brilliant, keep your thoughts powerful. Be aware that you can flip, but then you can flop back again into being powerful. Okay, so let's look at our body. Oh, darling, we are lost souls this week. So you are prone to feel a little down. Like last week, I had my sinuses and they were really clogged, and they still are. There is still some congestion, but those are signs that, your body does need some flushing out. You do need to take care of it. So you probably could end up having a little bit of a headachy kind of time this week, and tiredness, like not having a focus on how to get your body back into the grip of things. This feeling seems to be what is coming across, you see. And in this case, I feel that a lot of sunlight or a lot of light is going to help you. So keep candles burning in front of you, and also try to eat a lot of dark green veggies this week. Okay, so spinach, iron, anything to do with that type of intake is very good for you this week. And so this is the card that we are faced with, and you can see this lonely man kind of doing a little trot, and there is no focus around him at all. So let me ask Spirit what she feels about this. Angel Guide Leona, what is the body enduring this week? Okay, so actually she kind of contradicts me a little bit. And she says, well, you are going to want to match your mind with your body. So you are going to fight this feeling and push forth the energy to get up, to do what you want, to focus, to get rid of all that negative energy. So yay! So there's hope. There is hope for the wandering soul. So that is great. So he's going to battle through, and I see that in here. He's battling through. Yes, and here he is. What are the power words for this week? Traveling, adventure, movement, coping with unfamiliarity. Now that's a very powerful thing. I want to talk a little bit about that, because what we call as right is really a sense of familiarity, isn't it? Now we go to church and then we become very Christian oriented, but then, we move away from that later on and become more spiritual oriented. So it's just about habit. And so we are going to move away from past habits and focus on new habits, a new state of being. When we get into new states of beings, we form better and newer habits, hopefully, and not worse habits, because habits form in a very short period of time, like a 3-month period, and then you're able to keep it up. It's like you want to lose weight, you're going to exercise profoundly for 3 months, and then you're going to drop it down a little bit because your body would have picked it up and it knows, okay, this is it, I'm good, all right? So that's you go. So you're going to be having a great mind, and your body is going to work on keeping abreast of that. Yes, all right. Spirit, oh dear, we are in the doldrums this week. Oops, obstacles. Look at that, darlings, look at that. Oh my gosh, you are a ship in the middle of the ocean, but I see light falling on the waves. Can you see that? Light falling on the waves. Oh, it's beautiful. So sometimes when we are going through darkened spaces in our lives, when we feel that people are just being mean, and people can be mean, we will seek the truth and the feeling of peace and almost like a new truth coming to us through that sense of darkness. And it is very powerful, and it makes us go, wow, and that is what this is about. Again, I feel the colors of blue and green very strongly with this particular card. It's very strong. What does blue and green mean? It is very healing, communication and healing. Those are the two colors that are coming to us today with spirit. Okay, so communication with spirit is prayerfulness. So you are going to have a week of meditation and a sense of prayerfulness, which is going to be very, very powerful. And you're going to feel this sense of prayerfulness within yourself, you see. And God is going to be at your fingertips because you are open to receiving. Because in the darkest of troubles is when we seek God. Oh God, why have you forsaken me, says Jesus. I mean, even in his last moments, he is beseeching God. And in the same way, we kind of forget God when things are kind of, rocking and rolling and scrolling, so to speak. And then we are opened to godliness when we go through a certain amount of suffering. And we know that, isn't it? So, what does Liana say about this? Intricate Liana, what is your message to us about this spiritual state of being we are in this week? Okay, she says, be free to explore, enjoy, and endure. So that's powerful. Be free to explore. I'm going to put it right there for you. Enjoy and endure. So that means the new habits that we're forming, which we looked at before, is going to be like, I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, So it's going to be an enduring thing, because until it becomes a part of your routine, until it becomes a part of your thinking, until it becomes a part without having to literally struggle, it is enduring. You see, but endurance builds character, endurance builds stamina, spiritual stamina, and then you enjoy it after that, right? You literally enjoy it. Okay, so what are the words? The power word is obstacles. So obviously we're going to have some teensy bits of obstacles, but so let's take a look. Unexpected obstructions. So spiritually, you are going to, you're going to pray, but I don't think we are going to get our messages, like, are we going to get our prayers answered immediately? I don't feel that. This is going to take a little while to manifest. So we're going to feel a sense of obstructions, and then you're going to feel frustration and a feeling of hopelessness. So there is a sense of abandonment that we are going to endure. Can you see that? Yeah, like we are alone, you know, there's no one there. There is always the feeling of, how can I say this, disillusionment that's coming through this week. You know, no one is here for me. I can't, and that is, you know, a state, a thought process. So again, I said you have power in your thinking. Now, what is the difference between the mind and the spirit? Let me talk a little bit about that, because sometimes we can confuse that. The mind is generally connected only with your thought process. The spiritual state is connected with the body and the thought. So that means if you're feeling great, if this is giving you a sense of well-being, a sense of groundedness, that is a spiritual grounding. So it's really connected more with your senses and your feelings rather than definitely, you know, a thought pattern. You see, so if you're going to be feeling a little abandoned and a little disillusioned, know that again, this is coming from you exploring a different state, you going into a place where you're not used to. And yes, if you're not used to it, you're going to feel lonely. Okay, so don't look at it as something that's negative. Look at it as something that you're going to work through, and that we are all here to assist you and support you. So here we are at the end of another free energy reading. I am always available for you for your questions. Your short mini reading is only $14.95 if you want to just ask me for a strong prediction, or maybe just how someone is feeling, or maybe you're just having difficulty staying focused. Whatever the question may be, love, life, money, career, anything, you know, try me out for just $14.95. It's less than $15, and you get 3 free minutes after the 5 free minute period. You will be charged $14.95, whether you stay on for the full 8 minutes or any time between the first and the 5 minutes. Okay, so that is it. You can visit me again, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. And my tea is getting cold, so I've got to go. But it's always so good to be here with you. Bye-bye. I shall talk to you soon. Namaste.